I am doing this. I'm going to try and get some work done on it, possibly finish it. It's my Kandinski study. So, I got dressed to go to a doctor's appointment, and they didn't show up to pick me up, the medical transport. So, I figured, hey, I have makeup and my hair is done. I can show you people me, because usually you don't want to see me. I'm painting. I don't look like this. Oh, I look like this. I just don't look as neat as I look. So, all right, I'm going to hang you up where you need to be so you can watch my painting, and I'm going to get to work. Welcome. All right? Okay, hang tight, because then I've got to set up my other tablet so I can see myself and make sure you're seeing the art, and I can make sure I'm seeing that you're seeing the art. Okay? Did you follow that? And then I'm going to try something different with this new setup. So hang on. I don't know whether we're going to be vertical or horizontal or upside down or right side up at this point. So here we go. Got a switch. And no, go away. I don't want to share that with my audience. All right, so hang on. Someday somebody's going to invent a better way to get these phones into these clamps. I actually have an idea. But now this is very loose for some. Oh, I know. Hang on, I'm going to spin you. Uh-oh, now you're going to be upside down probably. We'll find out real quick. Okay? So bear with me. I'm not the monster you may have thought I was after you've seen my picture, right? So just bear with me. And, there, I've got to move my drinks out of the way here. And I got to find my live, okay? Where's my live? Let me well, doesn't it show up when you, oh God, here we go again. Okay, let's look for me. And then maybe it'll come up where I am, okay? No, not yet. Doesn't show it. I hope I'm live. Doesn't show it here. All right, let me go to lives on here. All live and see if I can find me. Now, I'll do a search for me. Okay, hang on. Oh God, I gotta type it in there, of course. Won't let me say it. Where's my R? I'm typing sideways. I'm probably broadcasting to you upside down. Pop Art Diva, now let's go, okay? And see if I can find me. Well, maybe I'm not live because it's not showing me live here. All right. I have to look again. Well, I think I am. It says I'm live. Oh, hello, 9 people. Hi. I am so sorry. But if you will bear with me, you know, that actually looks like you can see what's going on. So I'm actually going to get to work. I can't, unfortunately, see you. I do have a new tablet and a new phone coming tomorrow. So things are, I think what's happening is both of mine are dying on the vine. And I'm not able to, they're just, weird things are happening. I don't know if you've ever had, phones get old and then die on you, but that's basically what's happening to me. All right, the first thing I need to do is prime my paints. And I'm going to do that right now. And I'm using watercolors, and I use tube watercolors, but I put them in my palettes like this, because the tubes, when I'm working with just tubes, number one, I will squeeze out way too much. Number two, the tubes get all over the place, fall on the floor. The cat here, oh yes, the cat has carried off my watercolors. Okay, now I'm going to reactivate these little guys here. That's what's nice about watercolors. You can let it dry and reactivate it. Now, I didn't know if you knew this, but you don't have to throw your acrylics away right away either. You can prepare a wet palette. There we go. And keep them wet. Some people actually just take their palettes and like put them in the freezer. I've actually done that with house paints. I've taken the little roller and wrapped it in a baggie, a couple of baggies, and usually I will put it in the refrigerator, and then I have put spare paint and parts, stuff like that, in the refrigerator, or the refrigerator keeps them fresher. Now I'm ready to add some color here. So what about you guys? I am going to get another palette out. Hang on with me. Since I am at home, I am going to do this. In the meantime, I would just love to get into my live. There it is. I think I found it. Just love. There it is. To get into my live. By the way, in case nobody knows it, today, well, you can't see it. Today is, in case nobody knows it, today, well, you can't see it. It's I can't say it, World Frog Day. So, yeah, I'm weird. But I found these Hawaiian style, you know, those cool shirts that guys wear from the 60s. I can't remember the name of the really famous ones. Anyway, I found a bunch of these in all sorts of fun designs, and I actually have a frog one. If I remember before the end of this, I'll take the thing off and show you my shirt. And I have frog earrings. I had a frog ring, but it was making my fingers itch. I'm not buying a frog ring in gold, okay? It's going to be a piece of costume jewelry. There, that's working better for me. I'm hoping you can see my palette a little bit, because I think a lot of people who want to be artists like to watch you mix paints. Hi, Jason, is that? Jackson. Oh, even pretty. That's a nice name, Jackson. Hi, Hannah. Live Hawaiian shirts. No, I'm painting. I just wanted to show you my frog shirt for Frog Day. I have a cocktail site where I design and create signature cocktails for special holidays, and, well, just I do cocktails. But it just so happened I had several that fit into those food holidays. So I'm going to prime this up a little bit more. Anyway, so, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do right now. And I oversprayed a little bit here, and he's got some orange in him. But that actually isn't going to bother me, because the orange will bring in a little sedateness to this color. And by the way, plastic palettes stain, even with watercolors, particularly blues, some reds, some purples. Usually the yellows, you know, the yellows don't, etc. But I will keep that area open for the blues. There's no sense getting the whole palette messed up, you know. But every one of them stained. And I don't like the porcelain palette. I mean, I do like them. I love to mix on them. But I don't. They're heavy, which for me is a difficulty. Shoot, I need my color swatch. And there's my other paint. I'm going to bring him out here. I need my color swatch for him. Hang on, guys. Let's see. He's 24. I'm going to borrow my other 24 color swatch. Yeah, I make swatches for all of my Is it here? No. I just rearranged my, oh, darn it, my drawers. So everything is in a different place. It's not there. Ah, shoot. Ah. No, that's not him, but that's some of them. Okay. There's nothing in these, right? No. Okay. I'm going to check this one just in case. I don't know if you get a chance. Oh, yeah. But I don't. Oh, yep, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Seriously, people. There. Okay. Aren't they, isn't this cute? Yes, this is my itty bitty teeny weeny palette with 24. Can you believe that? Seriously. I used it. It's great. You know, I try not to be, I have to be a little bit neater because I don't like slopping the colors all over the place, all right? But when you're, you know, do you see how small this is to take with it? And this has a huge magnet with a clamp on it on top of it. I mean, I did, but you can see those. I did a video on them. If you go to my page, here it is. And I got smart with this one. I haven't done it with the others, but I laminated it. So if I get water or paint on it, I will just wipe it off. But you need these, and the reason why is you take a look at those and tell me which ones you think are the purples and the dark blues. Now, that one's a blue and this one's a blue, but there's another blue in there. And there's 3 purples in there. And there's 2 browns. Now, tell me, don't they kind of like all look black? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And the other thing is that, yes, these are the colors, but you never know what that color is going to look like until you paint it. Okay? So, I'm getting back. This doesn't have any water in it, and I'm just going to have to paint the old-fashioned way. But I want to get some more yellow, and I want to bring in the warm yellow. But my palette always starts, always starts with a warm and a cold yellow. A cool yellow, not a cold. A warm and a cool blue, and a warm and a cool red. And they're different ones sometimes, okay? Okay, see now I just got some yellow in that green. That's not going to bother me too much, but I'm going to bring this green over here because he might stain. And I don't want that quite much in here. Not yet. The green and the blues are usually pretty pigmented, pretty powerful. So if I wanted to make a green with this yellow and used a blue, I would use just a teeny little dot like that. Okay, and I'm actually going to take the, oh, I forgot my thing. I'm going to take the rest of that out there. I have my, this is my, oh, I do have my frog ring on. He didn't itch here. Huh, about that. Actually feels pretty good there. I didn't even notice it was there. Alrighty. Okay. I hand washed this real quickly the other day. I should have sent it into with my laundry, but I didn't. All right, now I'm ready to go. I'm going to take that off. See, there's still quite a bit of green in there, and I don't want that in here. I could have used it in here, though, to tell you the truth. This isn't quite the color I want it to be yet. All right. Yeah, there we go. One of my favorite colors. Okay. I swear. When I get ready to dye my hair, I've wanted to do this my whole life. Okay. It all happened when I was too old to do it. I was in the corporate world. I couldn't do it. Now I'm going to start here with this one. I want to color my hair, you know. I don't mean I want to make it red or blonde. No, I want my hair purple, magenta, turquoise, and lime green. Okay? I love those colors together. And you'll see that. I use them a lot in my work. I like a lot of color, and I like the whole spectrum of color. I like to work with it when I paint. So I tend to head towards it a lot. Ooh, I really, really, ooh. And now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, let me see, do I want to just lighten that up a bit? Yeah, let me grab a little here. I don't want it, this may not be enough of a color change. Nah, it's not. I need a little more green. Let's try this now. I didn't want to go too dark. This is supposed to be like the yellow went over the turquoise here. And for some reason, I didn't paint the turquoise on here. I usually do when I have over, I did here, but I didn't do it here. You know, that still needs more green. It's all right. It's like salt. You're going to always add more color, but you can't take, well, that's not really true either. It's not really true. You actually can. There are ways to remove color in watercolors. Now, and you're not always guaranteed that it'll work great, but there are ways. Now, let me stand back. Yeah, doesn't that look like an olive? I swear to God, I'm going to make this orange. Okay. I've saying that before. I'm going to see if anybody has any questions. I'm having a hard time reading. The type's too small and I'm too old. Message, okay. Retracted. Okay, sorry about that. I have no idea if it's retracted. I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I run another site called martinidiva.com or themartinidiva.com. I have both domains. And yeah, I think about cocktails a lot. I like cocktails. I like this color too much not to use it more. Should I make it lighter? I have an idea. I'm going to pop this in here. Okay. Get this kind of wet. I don't generally wet my paper completely. A lot of people wet their paper and tape it down, and then, you know, it keeps it from buckling. But you see, if I know I'm going to do some washes like that, and I think about it, I'll do that. All right. Because it does keep it from buckling and it keeps it attached, etc. But generally, I work sort of like this. Not a lot of big washes with these little guys. And they're so small that they don't really buckle that much. But I have had, you know, this one's a little buckled, but it's not enough to bother me. Okay. Oh, I better plug that phone in or we are going to be saying goodbye without me being aware of it. Oh, shoot. All right. So I got to loop it over here so it doesn't drop down in front of the camera. There we go. All right. Now, shoot, I'm talking, and in the meantime, this is getting dry. But that's all right. I'm going to do this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some yellow. All right. And I'm just going to, whoops, I'm going to do just a little experiment. See, now it's not giving me enough difference here. Not enough. It's happening, but they're not differential enough. That's okay. I tell you what will be. And I didn't get a lot of texture in these. Sometimes I'll work these and put texture in them, but I didn't this time for some reason. There's a little, but not much. But I definitely don't want just one little thing here, and I'm going to put some over here. I like that color. Now, do I put him here or here? Is the question. This is actually a better location. So I'm going to actually make him quite a bit lighter. So I'm going to take some yellow and just take a touch of him. I'm going to make him almost, what's the word? Fluorescent. That's the word I'm looking for. This may not, I may have still put too much green in it. Let me see this. No, it's close. Yes, I'm going over the black lines because I'll be going over them again at the end anyway. I usually do because I go outside of them. I'm not going to, when I have a border like this, it saves me time. All right. And time's something I always consider in my work. It always has, because I was trained as a professional illustrator. And when you get paid for this, time is money. You get paid, you don't get paid by the hour when you're self-employed, when you're freelance. You get paid by the job. You know, they'll offer you $5,000 to, you know, do a book cover, and that's what you're going to get paid, whether you've got to paint that thing and change that thing time and time and time again. So, you know, you can work out things where, you know, in the contracts, where if there's too much of a change, then you renegotiate, okay? But if you could start out clear and clean at the beginning, you're better off. I'm going to get a different green. I don't like this green, but oh, I don't want to put him in there yet. Oh, actually, I can. I'm going to grab another brush and just touch it here on the line and suck that moisture right off of there. There. And just touch a little tiny piece right in there. All right, and while I'm at it, where else do I want to put that? There. Actually, I've got him here, really. And it's not a favorite color of mine. So I definitely don't want him there. Now, there's a lot of blues and purples, which is, I like those colors, so that's okay. Focusing here, but that's okay. I will be coming in. I haven't decided yet. I'm definitely going to use my watercolor pens to come in here with details. I have yet to decide whether I'm going to use color pen. I don't think I'm going to. I think I've got watercolor pens. That means that this is still a watercolor. The pencils actually are watercolor too. I think, oh, actually, let's do this. Let me do this. I want that to be kind of light. Maybe another color I don't like, but every color has its place. I want a very pale mint green. Very, very, very pale. And you see what I mean? I don't know if you can see that, but do you see what I mean by you can make the color lighter? If you're still working it, sometimes you can, if this was wet, I could pull it while it was wet and get it from this color to this color. But you better get it when it's wet. Also, there are other ways to tell you the truth. I don't want to do it on that. Since I don't, well, okay, I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can do it here. A lot of times, just water will lift it. So here I go. Not that I wanted to do this, but I'm going to. Maybe I won't do the whole thing. Maybe I'll just do like a couple little guys on this. Now, this is just plain water, okay? I like the tension that created. I think I'll make him a little bigger. Now, has he sat in there long enough? And not every color will lift, but it's called lifting. And it's not doing a great job of it, though. I will admit that. Well, again, purple is made with blue. Now, red probably would have lifted, but I didn't want to do that. Oh, I could have done it over here, but red, now, I'm going to leave those sit there a little bit longer. The other thing I can try, let me try this. Is this my alcohol pen? I don't know. Where's my alcohol pen? do with them. Huh. Wait. I think this might be my alcohol pen. I have to open it up. These, by the way, I don't know if you've seen them, are water brushes. And for me, they're a new thing because I haven't been painting. No, that's water. I haven't been painting. I've been doing digital art for a very long time, and I've always done this, but I mean painting and stuff. But I don't, I'm not saying this right. I haven't done a lot of IRL in real life painting after doing digital, so it's not lifting. Isn't that interesting? It hardly looks like it even happened. Let me see if those will lift. I can't find my alcohol brush. And the reason I use it, I put it in these these water brushes, because it gives me the same control as painting does. Now, this could have, no, I've been painting with this. This is my regular brush. Well, shoot. I marked them, believe it or not, with magic markers, but it does come off. That's all right. I will do it like this. I'll put a little alcohol in here, in my thing. Now, you notice I'm covering it up so it doesn't, I'm using my spray bottle, okay, because I don't want too much. I have one in a dropper bottle, too. But I'm just going to take this, get that point on there. Now, I'm going to try this and see what happens. And see if I get a backwash on that. And a backwash is where you put one color into another color. And it usually works when it's wet and wet. And this is wet and dry. Well, this is creating more of an effect than the water did. That water is not lifting at all. Not at all. Isn't that interesting? Just a little, but not enough to even hardly notice it. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry up. Or I'm going to dry it up. Hang on a second, we're going to have a little noise here. So I don't have to wait. Yeah, I have a heat gun. You can use a hairdryer too. You don't have to wait for it to dry in a lot of cases. I see some, now I do see some on this one, some marks on this one. The interesting thing, it actually looks darker. I'm telling you, watercolor is a surprising medium. You can't control it. Everybody says it, and it's true. You got to be prepared for that. Now, that didn't seem to work much either. And the interesting thing is, it separated the purple out. That's interesting. You can't see it very close. But I'm going to bring this up there so you can maybe. It did push back the red and the purple a little bit. And the reason I could tell is it left the blue in the pigment. So it's not moving this blue. Okay, the blue is just going, no way. You ain't gonna make me move. But it moved the red, but not much. See, you just never know. Of course, these are different paints too. These are my Winsor Newtons, and they will act differently in this depending on the paper that you have. It will have an effect on what you do. I'm pulling my chair down a little bit, adjusting my back. I'm pulling my table a little closer to me. And I'm going to have a drink of water. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, shoot, that makes me mad. Something dripped right there, and it's wet. Now I'm mad at myself. That's going to have a more effect on the paper than this had on that. That's watercolor for you. There might be a way to fix it. Maybe not. You never know. If this was my... sometimes I'll take these little studies because that's what they are. I mean, for me, they're paintings because I don't work very large anymore because I can't. It's harder for me to work because of my back and everything. But if I do want to, I will occasionally. It take me a while to paint it, but I will work on a larger. I'll take this piece if I really, really like it, and I'll make it into a larger painting. And I don't know. The fact is, it won't be exactly the same. The fact is, I would probably move into either acrylics or oils. I don't know if I would do a large watercolor. I might even do a large pastel. You never know. I mean, it just depends. I don't work pastels too often, but I use them occasionally. Okay. Now the next thing, yeah, there was a little bit of green in there. That's very interesting. And that did. Now the sad thing about it is, had it been in here somewhere, it would have messed things up a little bit, but I would have been able to correct this, do something with it, okay? Because it's on the edge, I don't want to. I don't want anything that close to the edge here. The other thing I can do with this is touch it up. Okay, I hate having to do that. I don't like it because as far as I'm concerned, you can always see it, not from a distance, but, and when I go, a lot of these I'm going to reproduce. I'm going to scan them and, use them on my stores for products and stuff, cups, whatever. So that's going to be easy enough to correct digitally, but the piece itself will have a problem there. But hey, man, stuff happens. Okay, now, honestly, lately I don't like red, but lately, ooh, I know what I want in there. I don't want red. I have a nice red here. Okay, there's a little tiny area too. But a red orange, and then I could maybe, I've got sort of a magenta here. I'm going to try this again. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm going to see if I can lift this red. Let me see if it'll lift. Okay, so I'm going to paint over it. All right. I could. I'm not real fond of using white. Well, this is really coming off on the brush, so it's lifting, that's for sure. But I will tell you, I prefer a pastel made with white watercolor than I do one that is... To make a pastel in watercolors, you thin out the pigmentation. In other words, you just put more water in your paint, okay? This is a heavily pigmented red because I'm getting red coming out of here. And it still has just as much saturation of color. And it's not lifting. But bleeding, which means I have to go in and thicken that line. It's not lifting, but it may have lightened it a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to get some water in here. Again, keeping it from... There we go. Spraying onto my piece. I should have all of this stuff over on the right, so I'm not reaching over, because that's how stuff like this happens. That drop of water was because of that. I can almost guarantee it. unless somebody saw it happen and it didn't happen that way, but that's usually what happens. You know, if you're moving this over to paint over there, look at all that area you can drop it on. Now, you know what? Let me see what this looks like. Yeah, that's definitely got more yellow in it than this one does. So what I could do, and this is definitely darker than that, so it'll balance that. Oh, and then it sort of creates a flow up here too as well. See, it's funny how you place your colors can also create a linear element. And those, you have to think about that. It's what, you know, design's important. Placement of colors, placement of everything, it's important. It's part of, it looks good against that purple. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to darken this one a tad, just a little bit. That's enough. That's enough pigment, I think. I don't want it close to that. I want it a little darker than that one. And this I want, basically, it's darker up here, so just going to put water up there. If you're doing this to an area, even if you only want more paint down here, just put water here, but make sure it's wet as well. Because if you don't, you're going to get a hard line. It's going to create, that's where a backwash. It's going to create a backwash. And then the color is going to kind of separate. It's even trying to do it now, okay? But because this is wet, it's not going to get away with it. Oh, God, but it wants to. I can see it. I swear sometimes these things are alive. Okay. If anybody is still here and you have any questions, please, 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 please feel free to ask. Now, ooh, what am I going to do with that? Orange and blue together, you know what they make. Depending on which ones you do. Here's a blue, let me grab that. They sort of make this. It's called mud. Okay. I actually like that, though. That color looks nice with those two colors. It really does. Now I want to use it somewhere else. How about here, just out of curiosity? I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And see, the nice thing about it is that this was used to tone one of these colors. So now I'm going to put a little orange in there. Give it a little perk. Okay? Just a little perk there. Okay, how's that blending over there? Nicely. Let me grab just a tad more of this. This blue wasn't, and I would put the blue down here and quickly do this. This could be interesting. Now that I like. I rather like that. I could make that a little darker. Here. I like it. I like it. I don't generally like to bring earth tones in, but I kind of like him. And I'm very tempted to do something else with him. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to do this right here with him. Okay? Let that get in there a little bit. There, get it wet. Get just a tad more orange. Okay, and just a itty bitty bit of the blue. Get him on one side, he'll look like a little, sort of like a little hole. Looks like a little hole in one. Like I care. Okay, pull it up. And here, yeah. Yeah, I like it. It just gives a little dark accent. Got here. I could use him in some linear work over here. Okay, now I'm debating about these. about whether to leave them white or what. Okay, now I painted these, but that doesn't mean I have to paint these. All right. Today is also the first day of spring. And when I get off here, I'm going to have to put a link up on my TikTok and my Blue Sky and all those. A link to my spring cocktail recipes. I was going to do it before, but I'll be off of here just in time for cocktail hour pretty much across the country. I'd like to do it in the morning in case somebody wants to get the ingredients during the day, but truly big boozers usually have the ingredients, except some of my more esoteric ones. Ooh, I wonder if I could get away with, I wonder if I could. I don't have a lot of purple. Well, that's an interesting horn. I am, doggone it, I'm going to do that. I swear I am. I want a little bit orange. Just a little here. Look how dry these have already gotten. But nice thing is they're not completely dry. Yeah, I'm making this orange like a pimento. Just because I can. Now with the blue, okay, let's go get the blue. He's over here. And I'll just do it and be done with it. I did not bring that over the line, so I'm good here. There's too much blue, though. This needs a little more orange. And I got to be careful because it can soak into the paper and actually soak under sometimes. So you got to be careful. You know, if you have, it's not dark enough. I want that darker. If you live in an area that has a lot of humidity, if you don't seal your watercolor paper there like that are darker, it needed it, up, you can end up with paper that's, already been, it soaks it up from the air, okay, and it affects the paper. I used to get 300-pound Arches paper, and I got it from France because it is a little. I always believed it was a little different, than the stuff that supposedly was made here. And I used to seal that stuff in huge plastic bags. They were full sheets of watercolor paper, so they were big. God, right now, just thinking about what it cost makes me shiver. What do I want to do here? But I used to seal them up. I lived on the coast in California, the Santa Rosa area, and the wine country. And it was not, I'm in Tucson. Do you have any idea what the difference is in humidity of these two places? I came here and I thought honest to God, I felt like somebody had, embalmed me or something. It was so stinking dry. It took me a long time to get used to that. I don't know what I want to do with these guys. I'm not going to have a problem out here. Oh, I probably will somewhere, but if I go in here, this might end up being very, well, do I want to keep it plain? I can do that. Now, let me think. I could do a light blue. And that's a regular. I want cobalt for that. Or do I want ultramarine? I think that's ultramarine. Hold on. No, I know where my colors are on this palette. Okay. This is a fairly small palette. My brush was dirty. There was still some brown in there. Shoot. Let me get that up. I don't want that in there anyway. I keep forgetting to keep my blues where my blues are. Let me put some water in here. I work with a minimum of 2 water jars, but I usually like to have 3. One is to rinse the brush out, and one is for clean, completely clean water. All right, where was I? I want this ultramarine right here. Okay, yeah, that's my color. Do I want to do him dark? If I do, then that means I better come in here and get a whole heck of a lot more pigment. Or do I want to do him? Oh, I'm going to have to do him dark because that's light. I want to do him dark. There. Ooh. Isn't that a pretty color? He's just beautiful. Theirs is a lot cooler than some of the ultramarines. And by that I mean it's got a bit more of a green cast to it. That's not what I'm actually used to in an ultramarine. This almost is kind of a cross between ultramarine and Prussian blue. I really want that dark. I'm bringing in even more pigment. There. I like that. Now, my question is, okay, you know what? You could work. Let me see if I can get, now, this is where I like to have, I'll be honest with you. I'm lazy and I like to work as fast as possible. And having as many colors as I can, unless they are not light fast at all, and I pass on them, okay? If they've got a decent light fastness, then I want that color. And the reason why is I don't have to try and mix it. You know, mixing can be a pain in the patoot. You know, you could do it. I know I can do it. But I'd rather know that I've got it ready for me. I want a different color from this. And I only have that available to me as a cool red. I am limited with that. But, I mean, it's not like I can't change it, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to toot this around here. Get a clean... Did I use these paints on that? This does not look like the same color. Let me grab this here. No, it's not. It's, oh, I might have mixed it. Did I? I don't remember. I might have mixed it with that mauve. Not mauve. What did they call that color? Mauve. You know, this is actually... So that's a little more purple than I wanted it. It was a little more purple and a little more subdued. This might actually be what I want. Okay. I'm going to see how it, with a little bit of water. No, a little bit more water. I want a little more water. I want more still. See, this is where I have to tell you, I love to use the white because I prefer the colors. In the pastels, there we go. All right, I like the white added to them. I'm going to show you. I don't have any white. Oh, I do. Okay. I'm going to take some white and show you the difference. But right here, I don't want to mix the two. But I am going to put this here. Oh, this is definitely a different color. I take my glasses off because these are so little. And I can't bloody see them. All right. Now, that doesn't bother me. I'm going to actually make that a little darker, like that. This one a little darker still. And this one, I'm going to pull a little of that out. Okay, there. And maybe I'll get this back. Oh, this is just a little, just sort of like getting there. One more. There. All right. Now that's a good balance right there. Now see, now watch this. This is so cool. But I mean, to me, technically, white is not watercolor. When you bring white into the equation, there's still some wet on here. So I want you to see the difference between this And let me put a little more white in there, okay? Even though they might be the same, I can't, the word, not shade, maybe it is shade. My brain's not. In other words, if you have grays and you get a very light gray and a very dark gray, there we go, there we go, there we go. And it's still too light, too dark. But this, okay, look, just look at the difference here. Now, the reason why is more than likely that there's a little, you can't see it in the opaque, okay? But, and this is a tad bit darker, but there is a little sediment. They have a little granulation, not much. I mean, not much at all, but there's a little. And so you can see that granulation in here. It's a very, very, very subtle texture. But to me, I like, if a pastel, for a pastel, I prefer it. And that's why you don't see a lot of pastels, because I think it's a personal thing. I know it's not really a pastel. See, I know it's the same color that has water in it. So it's not really light blue. It's that blue with water in it. Okay? Yeah. It's stupid, but, you know. So I mean, there may not be much difference at all, but I see it. Okay? That's a personal thing. Now, I don't have much left to do here. I'm kind of ready to get... For me, this is fun. I always like it. I love putting paint in things. Listen, when I was a little kid, you could make me happy as all get out by giving me paint by numbers, all right? Just the act of taking a brush and putting paint in where it belongs makes me happy. But my most fun part comes after this. It's the details and the little wingy dings and the fun stuff that, I just decide all of a sudden to come in and do something. And, and sometimes it ruins it and makes me upset, or sometimes it makes the painting. And it just, it's the part I like. It's the riskiest part, but it's still the part I like. This is more like coloring for me, okay? Just choosing the color, that's all you have to do. I have these two left, and I'm going to do them in exactly the same color. Because my problem is that one and these two. And I'm waging between white, leaving it white, or not. I don't know what to do with them. I could just leave them there, and then at the end I can make a decision after I put in all the doodads, all right? But this one, for some reason, these are definitely going to get some texture in them. They're too big and too dead in the water at this point. Now I am seeing some difference. This, the exact opposite, this actually got darker and bluer. Now, but right here, this was actually part of the original painting, because I didn't go in and do a perfect wash. I didn't intend to. None of these I intended to do a perfect wash. I like to put the paint in and let it pick its own texture a lot of times. But they sort of didn't do a darn thing here, okay? At least not noticeably. That's, the paint will do stuff like that. I had this one and his one, and ooh, wait a minute. Oh no, I shouldn't. I just had an urge to do those black. I really did. And I really want to do that. I really do want to do that. Yeah. I don't generally use black. You know what? I don't have to. I can make black and I'll be happier. It'll be more interesting. So I'm going to get this ultramarine here. And I don't need much. They're small. See, I'm getting water and I'm dragging it across. And I'm telling you, this is what's going to, that's what drips something. Okay? And I should know better. But see, this stuff is generally on my right. But I just set my studio up and I got to reset it up. Because I went and bought lots and lots and lots of supplies. Now, I'm going to put blue and yellow. Generally, I'm going to put a little, you know what I'm going to do? Heck with it. I'm just going to take this. I'm not going to use this anymore. All right? That's all right. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I know it looks, ooh, it's pretty green though. Oh my God, it's a pretty green. Ooh, 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 ooh. I just decided this. Oh, yummy. There we go. That's kind of what I was thinking, but I didn't think I would be able to get, I didn't, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? That's exactly what I wanted. And I want it good and dark. Almost black, but not quite. Look at that. Now, I like that. The other thing I'd like to do, oh, shoot. Should I? I'd like to bring this color in somewhere else in here. I can do, you know what? I don't need to do it with paint. Oh my God, I love this color. Of course I added, oh no, good, it's the blue. Good, good, good for me. Okay. Yeah, I actually do talk to myself. That's what happens when you live alone as long as I have. You talk to yourself. Or I turn the TV on, you know, and shut myself up. They won't, like, I can't play, I can't figure out how, if you can. Somebody tell me how you can play music on live on YouTube, because if I turned my radio one time and they told me I had to turn it off, and they took it out. Not all of it, just things that were copyrighted or had they not, I don't know, but they blanked a couple of areas out. I'm assuming that was from the music. I will do that with a pen or a pencil. If I do it now, I won't forget, but all right, what was I? Black. All right, so I was making black. Now this is sort of green. So let's take this orange. This isn't enough. This isn't pigmented enough. Now watch how this, okay, I'm going to have to get real. Yes, I have black. Yes, I have dark brown, okay. And I might add the burnt umber in the end to get it good and dark. But I want to mix it first. Okay, now that's green. Now I'm getting darker green, and now, whoops, wrong one. Oh, my back's starting to hurt. Okay, and now I want red. I had orange, and this is basically kind of orange-red too. Okay, now it's too red. That's interesting. Now I've got brown, and I have a beautiful brown. Let's take a look at this little guy. Yeah, he's a nice, actually, I think I just mixed my burnt umber. Now I've got the brown. Now blue should give me my black, okay? If I had started, wait a minute. That might have been purple. Hold on a second. Okay, here's the, wait a minute. This is not, oh shoot. That's because this is 3 across. It's the same colors, but it's 3 across. 1, 2, 3, red, 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 purple. And that's interesting. Purple, and then purple. And then purple, and then, no, that's ultramarine. Then what the hell? Sorry, are these? No, this is ultramarine. That was purple. No wonder it wasn't working quite the way I expected it to. What are you? Yeah, there it is. Blue. Okay. And there it is, black. Okay. Still a little gray. Okay. So I am going to steal some of this brown, and simply because I don't want to have to go through all that again. I'm just using the paint that was in the palette and just show you If I was here alone, I wouldn't be doing this, okay? I wouldn't be using black. I would basically have gone in for the burnt sienna and the blue. Um, it's not Payne's. What is it? Oh, my brain doesn't want to work. Well, let's take a look at this. And then let's thin it out and see what this color actually is. Damn, it is actually black, because it's a warm gray, it's a warm black. Exactly what I want. Oh, I like that. Just a little bit here. And we're going to put this on the outside, okay? And now this I like. And it sort of complements that. Now this one looks a little more brown to me. That one looks more gray. I need a little blue. Okay. Yeah. All right. It needs a little bit more blue. Let's try that. Yeah. That was a little warm. Let me look at that. Now that's a little darker than I want him. Okay. Okay, let me pull it. Now the interesting thing about that is that if you look at this, you know, if you can see that there's a little blue and green and all those colors in there because it's got a cast to it. All right. But most people will see it as gray. There's not enough color in it for them to see the actual color. All right. And then of course, I can't make a mistake here. Shit. Didn't mean to do that. I should have gotten a smaller brush. Generally, I can get along with this. It's a, I don't know, they don't say, but this is probably about a size 4, 5. And I can generally get along with that for even smaller areas. But I am getting older. My eyesight's getting worse, and so is my hand control. It's very, very annoying. But what I have just decided to do is get out of the detail end of the business. It's, you know, and it's good for me to do that. I get too caught up in details. And man, it was one of my big problems was getting too detailed. I get caught up, you know, I'll get like super, it's what would happen is I'd get caught up in an eye and I start getting super realistic. All right. And of course, you know, if you do that, you can spend like days on one damn eye, one stupid iris, or longer. Don't have that. Not when you're trying to meet a deadline. And it doesn't show up anyway. When they take the painting and reduce it down, nobody's going to see that. And not only that, if you get too detailed, it ruins it. You know, you have to be kind of impressionistic. Okay. I like that. And it looks really nice with that olive. I like this combination of those colors in here. Those subdued colors with it, with the brights. These guys here. I moved him here. I do like that a lot. I know this. I do this a lot. I'm literally seeing in my mind colors in here as I do this, and I can't explain it. What was that movie? A Beautiful Mind, or some movie I saw where he would see numbers in the air. That's kind of what I see, only they're colors. I see colors in the air. It used to drive my mother crazy we'd go to fabric shops and, you know, she'd always take a little sample. She goes, well, it's to match. I go, you don't need that. She goes, what do you, I want to match it. I don't want to, I said, I'll match it. Every time. It used to drive her crazy because I'd go in without a swatch and pick out the exact match. My poor mother. I also melted an entire box, not a big box. I think it was a 20, it wasn't a 12. I think it was a 24 box, baby, of crayons, Crayolas, all over her nice, good red wool jacket. I didn't do it. The son did it. But I left the crayons where she had left the jacket in the back window of the car in the summer on a road trip. I think this has a couple little spots here. I'm going to come in and do another layer. Have you heard they have ultra, 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 ultra black now? It's so dark that it looks like a hole in space. Yeah, evidently. I haven't seen it. And I wonder if you used it in a painting, if it was so concentrated. I mean, you got to realize if the other colors don't have that kind of pigmentation and that power, although they do have a special blue now. There's some new blue. I saw it on camera, and on camera that thing looked like it was freaking glowing. I mean, it looked like yeah, it was something special. But can you imagine adding that to something with normal paints? Before you can paint with that stuff, they better have at least the basic colors that you want to paint with. And paint's not light, okay? Light and paint mix colors. Well, light mixes colors perfectly. Paint doesn't. It's man-made. It's a representation of color. All right? We're trying to imitate light when we paint, if you stop and think about it. Well, hell, no wonder we can't win. Oh, I'm going back, and I'm going to double on this color of green, too. Oh, here he is. I'll use him. I think this is... Yeah. I will say, I do enjoy mixing colors, okay? Because, I hate it, and I hate it, and I love it. It's one of those relationships. Yeah, I wanted a little bit more saturation in here. I enjoy mixing colors. Except when I have to match a color. I like it when something comes up like that green, and I went, ooh, isn't that a neat color? Okay. And I found a use for it, which I'm very happy with. It was perfect. But I would just go out of my mind if I had to match colors as a job or something, Here, match this. No, here, bite this. Okay. Okay, got those two. I'm going to leave them alone. I still haven't decided. This one answered itself. But I'm going to stop on this right here for it. I wish they'd put the time on this. I thought they did, but I can't see it. I don't know how long I've been on. But I need to take a little break from my back. And I'm going to have to cut this at a certain point because my little phone can only handle so many minutes to crunch down and stitch together. And it's a good time for me to rest my back. Oh, look, you can see my frog's eye. Okay. See? There he is. Right on the inside of my right boob. There's my little frog eye. Boink, boink, boink. Okay. That's it. Terry's going to stop at this point, and then I will maybe come back later this afternoon. I have a phone call I've got to make, and hopefully I can come back this afternoon and do the linear stuff. If not, I'll have to come back tomorrow. But in the meantime, I said I'd show you my shirt. So, hang on. Ouch. This clamp is going to be the end of my fingers. There. Okay, hang on. Oh, I don't want to stop. Oh, okay, I'm still live. All right. No, I'm not. Yeah, I am. Okay. God, Jesus. Okay, here he is. My frog shirt. Okay. I swear to God, this camera is upside down there. There's a big frog in the middle. Okay, World Frog Day. I have a bunch of these like that. All right, guys. It's time to say goodbye on the first half of this. So, I'm going to hit my little off button. You can look at the artwork. Well, is that too close? There he goes. Okay. Good night. Goodbye. I'll be back in a bit, maybe. Okay.